Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos like the one you're about to see here. However, this is a little snapshot of today's desk. I have quite a few books and notebooks and calendars out, including this one that I'm reading. I also have my little notebook that I typically carry with me in my bag just for quick notes. This is kind of like my plotting and brainstorming notebook. I got this for my birthday last year, and this is my work notebook. So for my actual 8 to 5 job, this is what I use. This is a calendar that I got at Target Dollar Spot, and I'm going to be planning out my YouTube content. And of course, this is the star of today's show, which is my budget planner. So let's get right into it. For this video, this is just an old picture of my dog and I, and she's a lot younger there than she is now, but she's just hasn't been feeling good. And I had this photo and I thought, let me throw it on my desk. I really need to clean my desk. But let me put you in your handy dandy little holder. Okay, I got you all clipped in so you can have an overview of what's going on with the budget. I haven't done a budget video in a few weeks or maybe a month. I don't even know. I can't remember. But I wanted to bring you up to speed, and today was my payday. Now, something I learned, you guys, if you've been with me for a while, you know that my husband has a new job, and it's going to kind of subsidize his private pension that will begin in June. So for all intents and purposes, he's pretty much retired as of this June, but he has to wait till his 50th birthday to start collecting. Now, that doesn't mean he can collect Social Security. That would be a whole other ball game, and you know, whatever. He's not that old. But to make a long story short, in the meantime, he has this job and he absolutely loves it, but it is a sales position. So he has a base salary that's, you know, it's modest, but he hasn't gotten paid commissions yet because he just started selling on his own 1 week ago. So to make the long story short, he's going to be getting larger and larger checks, hopefully, as he makes his own sales. But in the meantime, what I learned today is that he doesn't get paid every other Friday like I do, which is what I thought, because it just happened to be falling like that the past couple of paychecks, but he gets paid twice a month. So I'm going to assume the first paycheck for March for him is going to be March 15th. So I'm going to assume the second one is like the 30th or last day of the month, something like that. So I've got my wallet out. I transferred everything into this new lug wallet that I got for Christmas, and I absolutely love it. But I have a lot of cash in here, and the reason why is because I've been like stockpiling it over the past couple of paydays, and my extra money, instead of keeping it in the bank, I just started squirreling it away. So I have quite a bit in here. The other good news is that my nephew is paying like a quote-unquote rent again. So I have his money in here, which is nice. It's really, really helpful. He needed to get back on his feet because he lost his job last year due to COVID, or he was laid off, and then his job was reinstated when their business picked up again. So, you know, things just have a way of working themselves out. But let's talk about my paycheck. So that's what I'm going to write down as source. I'm just going to write my paycheck because I'll know what that means. I'm going to move this picture so it doesn't fall over. And I'm not going to write down the decimals because you guys know, if you've been with me for a while, I don't like to get real decimally. But I'm just going to put down 1515 because it was 1515 and change. So I thought that I was going to have my husband's to add to this too as another source today, but I will wait, and I'll probably come back here and edit this form because the way I set these up, I created these myself, and I might have to go back in and do them again, which is okay with me because I saved all these documents, but I might have to create additional sheets for his paydays, which is totally fine. I'll just have to tweak the way I'm doing this. So, let's see. You know what? I'm going to put down my nephew's money because I did get the entire amount for March. Now, some of you are going to think this is too much, and some of you are going to think that's not enough. He is in his early 20s, and he's been living with us for over a year. And, you know, he moved back to town from where he was living, and he moved in with us after having an apartment with a roommate, and the roommate decided to move back home to save more money and, you know, whatever his reasonings were. So my nephew just wasn't able to keep the apartment on his own. It was just too expensive. But he's getting there, and then his car needs a lot of work lately, and there's just been a lot of things that come up, and then of course getting laid off from COVID. So he's had a lot going on too. So you know, and I'm not really looking forward to him leaving anytime soon. I like him being here, so it's kind of nice. So he gives us $350, and that works out to be about $175 per paycheck that he receives. And it covers all his laundry. It covers any food in our house. We buy groceries. Now, he'll buy himself takeout, or he'll subsidize like some of the groceries that he wants, like special things that he wants. If he wants to go get a case of pop, or, you know, special snacks or whatever. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't buy anything like that, because he does. But anything that we have in the refrigerator, the cupboards, he's welcome to. So that, laundry, all the utilities, you know, we pay for an extra cable box in the basement for him, and we are finishing the basement basically with him in mind, but also us potentially selling our house this year. You know, maybe if things work out. If they don't, you know, I'm just kind of used to the fact now that, you know, life is about rolling with whatever comes up. I don't want to say rolling with the punches, because it's not all punches, you know what I mean? That sounds negative, but just kind of rolling with the circumstances that arise. So I'm going to write total here. I'm not sure why I never wrote that on this sheet, but it's a total. So it's about $1,865. Now I have more than that. My money for my paycheck is still in the bank, so I don't have that to count out for you guys, but I do have my cash to count out. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to figure out what is going where, because I also, since this is my first paycheck of the month, I haven't put any money aside for April's bills yet. And that's important, because I still keep it at $28.50, even though it's slightly less than that now. And that's because I've been making extra payments, and I paid our Home Depot off, which was something that was kind of dragging us down for a little bit. So we need $28.50 approximately. So I'm just going to leave that as is. So today I'm going to have to add to that, because this month I need to reach this. And then we pay our bills a month in advance, in case you're wondering why I have to reach April stuff now. March is completely paid for, but we have to start thinking about April now. Now, my sinking funds, I haven't been paying attention to, just because I haven't. And that's a shame, because the most important one right now that I want to concentrate on adding to is my Christmas club. I really wanted to do a minimum of $50 per month, but, you know, I really preferred to do 100, because that just matches our needed Christmas budget a little bit better than half that amount. So right now I still only have the $50 in my Christmas club savings account in Capital One. So that's where I keep all my sinking funds in my under my Capital One checking. I have divided savings accounts. So I have Christmas, I have emergency, which I have pulled from quite a bit. I've been making extra payments, and, you know, I used it to pay some things off. You guys, if you want to know what, or more specifics about that, it's always under my previous videos. And then we had savings, and then we had the dogs. Now, the dogs, I kind of regret not boosting this a little bit. I took this down to 0 last year, because our other dog is actually in need of a teeth cleaning, because she's just not biting and eating as she typically does. And that's very expensive, because, you know, they give them anesthesia, they do x-rays, they do extractions. So it's just a lot to think about. So I also have to think today about my variables. So that is going to be groceries, like we always do, and gas for the cars. Now, over the past couple weeks, I've been kind of nickel and diming the cash that I had on hand and using that, you know, so, but it all worked out. Groceries, gas, dog food, I always do, and then miscellaneous. Now, you guys might be thinking, where's all your bills? Well, our bills are under the bill category. So if you're wondering like about gas, like for, you know, running the house, this is gas fuel. But gas for running the house, electricity, you know, all the utilities, cell phone, mortgage, all that all falls under this category here. So this is just weekly what we spend on our variables. And the reason why I put them in that category is because sometimes they can change. Now, typically I kind of fund them the same way every time, but it is nice to be able to tweak or alter those amounts as needed. So let's see what I've got in cash. And also, I was able to procure over the past couple weeks exactly one $2 bill to add to my challenge. So I have that here ready to go. But this is the money that I have left. And we're going to see where we're at with things. Now, my nephew's $3.50 is in here. So let's just take that out right off the bat because I don't want to count my chickens or my eggs. What am I saying? I don't want to count things twice. So this is money that he gave to me. So let's see what I have left from the past couple of weeks. Okay, so 100, 50, 200, 250, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, 20, 40, 60, 80, 600, 20, 40, 60, 80, 700, 20, 40, 60, 80, 800, 20, 40, 60, 80, 900, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1000, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1100, 1110, 1120, 1125, 1126, 1127. All right, so I'm gonna write that down. And if you guys are wondering, you know, where did all the extra come from? It was extra from, like I said, the past however long I haven't been doing videos. And instead of going back to the bank and putting things in the bank, I've just been like holding on to it. My mom also gave us a monetary gift for our anniversary, which was so sweet. She's always thinking about us and always worried about us, you know, and it's so kind. So we got a gift for that. Also, John's parents gave us the same thing, just a different amount. So we got that. And then what else? There was something else that came up. We got a refund. That's what we got, a refund from our state taxes for almost, it was $253 or something like that. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look. So that's in there. And then last month's rent from my nephew's in there. So it was quite a bit of residual. So that's actually what I'm going to call this. I've been stocking money away and also spending a bit. You guys know I got a new bag at Target, and I'd like to use some of this to refresh my makeup. My makeup is looking so orange. I don't know if my skin is changing and oxidizing all the products that I put on it, or if it's just an age-related thing, or if it's just I haven't been out in the sun. But I really need to refresh some of my makeup because I'm also in the process of getting rid of a lot of my makeup. Old stuff, expired stuff, things I just don't use anymore. Sometimes I love this whiteout and sometimes I don't. So, all right. So let's re-add. So we have $15.15 from today's pay, $3.50, and $11.27, and that brings us to $29.92. So for all intents and purposes, I guess I could just pay all of April bills, but I'm not going to do it like that because I have other things in mind too. So I am going to start funding up what's going on here. So today I'm going to put down $150 for groceries. I'm going to put down $65 for gas. And I'm upping it a little bit because gas has gone up in our area. I mean, not, you know, enormously, but it's still going up just a bit. And I'm going to put down $25 for dog food. And then I'm going to put down, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Times 2, times 2, and times 2. This will cover us for a week. But since I don't get paid again until, oh gosh, 2 weeks from today, which is the 12th, I want to be able to have enough aside for this week and next week. Now, I know my husband's going to get paid in the interim, but what I can do with his paycheck is I can throw it on our bills. So I just want to make sure that I put enough cash aside, because I am starting to get back into the routine of paying things with cash, which for me is it just provides another layer of discipline to how I spend. So I want to kind of do that and make sure that I'm covered. So let's put down $300 for groceries for the next 2 weeks, okay? And like I said, this pretty much covers 3 people, so I think that that is a good amount. Now let's get concentrated on, I think that's $130, 65 times 2. So I need $130 set aside for gas. So let's do that. All right, so we've got our gas money. Got our grocery money. I want to put $50 aside for the dog food. And then for miscellaneous, I really need to add to this because we are out of just about everything. And this is going to seem like a high number, but honestly, it's necessary. We need shampoo. We need packs of toilet paper, paper towels. We need paint. We need a 5-gallon jug, which is huge, of paint. That in itself is probably going to take up most of it. So you know what? I'm going to change that. That's for the basement. So I'm going to put down $300. So we need 5 gallons of paint for the basement. And I need like toiletries and, you know, just like basic stuff. You know, we need deodorant. I need to replenish shampoos. And yeah, so we need a lot. So what did I put down? That was, what the heck did I do? All right. Oh goodness. All right, so I've got $300 for groceries, right? And gas, I need $130. Okay, so we have that here. And then dog food, I needed 25 times 2. And then for miscellaneous, I wanted $300. So here we go, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300. All right, so 150 plus 150 plus 130 plus, gosh, I can't get it together today. And I know somebody's going to call me out on that. 150, 150, 65, 65, 25, 25, and 300. Looking at $780. Now, I cannot even remember the last time we had variable expenses that were totaling $780. So on one hand, I feel like, oh, that's a lot. And the other hand, I feel like that's long overdue. So let's organize the bills. And then I'm going to count this up and make sure we have $780. All right. 100, 200, 300, 400, 450, 500, 550, 600, 650, 670, 690, 710, 730, 750, 770, and 780. All right, so we've got $780 there. And we have this much left. I'm like a toddler. We have this much left. Tell me what to do. Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. All right, so let's take $1127, which was our residual money, minus $780. This should be $347. So let's double check ourselves. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 20, 40, 60, 85, 20, 40, 60, 86, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 96, 97. All right. Well, hold on. We had my nephew's money in there too. So 350 plus 1127 residual. So 1477 minus 780. I should have 697 here, which is exactly what I have. Okay, so remaining, let's see, I'm going to write that down here. I really didn't do this layout very well, but let's do remaining cash is $697. Okay, so what am I gonna do with that? I don't know yet. Honestly, I don't know. And I feel like I really want my husband's pay to kind of work in and factor into all this before I make final decisions, because realistically, the only thing I have to worry about after I do my variables for the next 2 weeks is how we're going to stack our April bills and our sinking funds. And I really want to bring Christmas Club up to $300, which is kind of my plan on what I want to do. So I think I'm just going to hold on to this extra cash instead of depositing it. I don't know why I'm like that, but I really like having cash on hand. And I know that it's not the safest way, the most secure way, the most modern way to hold on to extra money, but I just like it, and I don't know. I just like it. So I think I'm going to hold on to this instead of depositing it. And I think what I'm going to do is wait until the 15th. I'll wait until my husband gets paid. And then what I will do is I will move the money around the way I need to. Now, if you guys have been with me for a while, you guys know that I have to move money around different accounts. So let me just explain really quickly. My paycheck goes into the bank where we have our mortgage. My paycheck's been going into that bank for like almost 20 years. Or as long as direct deposit's been around. And my husband's paycheck goes into our newer bank accounts. So what I like to do is I like to take out of my paycheck our mortgage, I do a clean transfer, and then I take anything that's left over out of there and I put it into our newer bank account. Eventually I'd like to move everything to our newer bank account, but right now just paying the mortgage that way is just so easy. And if I have to change my direct deposit, I'm gonna have to fill out a form and go into work in person, show my ID, and make a whole big federal case out of it. So I really don't want to do that right now, especially while I'm working from home. So that's that. So what I do after I put it into our newer bank accounts is that typically I transfer it to Capital One. This helps me out for 2 reasons. I like using Capital One because it's really just easy, it's fast. I can transfer between our newer bank account in there using Zelle. It's very quick and simple. My old bank account doesn't use Zelle. It uses something called People Pay, which is such a pain in the butt because it's so much slower. So I use Zelle to make those transfers. And then what I can do is I can move money from our Capital One checking account into sinking funds if I have to. Or maybe I have to move money from a sinking fund into our checking. It's just really nice to be able to do those quick and easy transfers. It's just no muss, no fuss. In a perfect world, I would love if we had a Capital One branch nearby that I could drive to, but it's so far away and it's just not feasible. So that's my plan. That's what the money is looking like right now. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an update next week. Now, I wanted to also mention to you guys that I'm planning out my content. So I'm trying to be better and more reliable on my video uploads. This is a calendar that I got at the beginning of the year from the Target Dollar Spot. And the best thing about this is I have a really beautifully made Uniball Signo white pen that really pops on this kind of paper. So I'll give you guys an example. I've been meaning to plan out my content on here for a while. And, I wasn't in the right frame of mind to do this for a long time, but now I'm getting back in the swing of things. I'm feeling better, and I just thought it's time. It's time to tighten up my processes. I don't know. So anyways, this is how the pen shows up and it pops on this paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a makeshift calendar, and I think I'm going to do a separate video and kind of show you guys how I plot out the way I'm going to be filming, uploading, scheduling, and all that moving forward. Because I did tell you guys in a separate video that I was planning on doing some different kinds of content on the channel, things that are still goal related, whether it's health, whether it's my weight loss journey, a debt journey, or getting my house in order. Those are kind of the biggest categories for me. So those are the things I'm going to be focusing on. And if I do create a private group, whether that be just a plain Facebook group or a Patreon, because the reason why I'm kind of thinking about Patreon is because of a couple things. I think that it really weeds out the people who are super, super interested in the same like-minded content that will be featured there. And so, it's not just, another way for, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but I just think it'll be like a nice place for us to gather the people who have the same like-minded goals and can feel comfortable to talk about those and share them with the rest of the group, because we're all kind of in the same boat. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And of course it would be like super modest, the amount, but I just think that that's the best way to do it, just to provide like that kind of like safe feeling, you know, that people can feel free to share their debt journey or their weight loss journey. And I'm going to be there vulnerable doing the same thing with you guys. So that's the reason why I thought about doing some kind of paid subscription. It's not because I think I'm going to make $1 million doing it. You guys know I don't even get paid half the time for my YouTube channel because I just don't have that big of a channel. Sometimes I get paid though, and if I do, you know, it's not anything earth-shattering, but I appreciate every penny of it. So I am going to put the work in, and I'm going to see how it turns around. Let me know what you guys are interested in. Let me know if any of this works for you, sounds good to you, if you have you know, suggestions for improvement for me, because I'm open to that. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a long one, but I had a lot to share with you. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. And if it's sunny where you are, I hope you're outside enjoying some of that fresh air, because I know that's what I'm going to be doing as soon as I sign off. So have a great weekend, guys. Take care.